If you think FashionScape is for fun, then this video isn't for you. I'm here to raise winners, not losers cosplaying as winners. I'm here to shatter the barricades that Jagex builds to keep you down. Today, I'm going to prep you to decimate your friendly neighborhood FashionScape contest and put it on hiatus for the next decade. Whew, that took a few tries. Okay, alright, let's get going. Alright, so let's bring ourselves open here. So this is going to be a bit of a tutorial. If you want a full tutorial of how this all works, I have tutorials for Creators Kit 2.0, both the basics and the model anvil sections. Both individual tutorials will help you greatly, but this is just sort of getting used to some new tools that we've got going on, as well as to familiarize you with how I would create my own custom fun little character in Creators Kit. So first off, let's just open our toolbox. Again, I'm not gonna do a ton of like super basics, just try and get you used to the flow of how I like to do things. So with that said, I have this planned out at least a little bit, because when I'm looking for individual models to create these fun characters, it takes a long time to find the perfect thing. It can take like an hour just for me to find all the models that I want my character to be wearing, which obviously I don't really want to do in a tutorial video here. So let's just get started. I'm going to turn off Entity Hider here, find myself. We're going to go to our toolbox. We're going to go to the model anvil. If you've used this tool before, it will look new to you. It will look different, and that's very exciting. Okay, we're going to move that to the side for now. I'm going to anvil my player character, and look at that. We have a quick, simple render of what the anvil is showing now. So if you've never used the anvil, pretty much what it does is it takes all these individual models that compose a character or an NPC or whatever, and it mashes them all together. So I can do some really crazy things, like I can make my head twice as big if I scale up. it's just too good. And let's just bring it back down to earth a little bit. The crazy new feature of this latest update is that you have this live viewer on the side, which can give you live updates. Before, you would have to manually hit this button and you have to go look in your screen over here and try and find out what's going on. But this is a big difference. Okay, so pretty much Anvil is, think of it like a really simple 3D modeling program where I can take models that are already in the cache and I can mash them, I can translate, rotate, so on and so forth. Okay, I'm just going to right click those boxes to reset them. Alright, so this is what my character looks like by default. A handy, relatively new update is that things tend to be named a little bit better by default. It's not perfect, and you're going to find out what that looks like very shortly, but it's certainly going to help us. Okay, so I am going to make a Viking-looking character today. And to do that, I'm going to grab models of different body parts from NPCs, from items, from my player character here. This is just to get us set off using my default character here, and we're going to be using some pieces from him later. Okay, let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, I have it all written here, Monas. Okay. What do I want this guy for? Right, so this is our cache searcher, very handy tool for searching up different NPCs, objects, items, animations from the cache. Very handy tool. For today, it's going to be used to find some NPCs and items and get their individual component models. A lot of NPCs, especially those that are in the same form of a human player model, are also composed of multiple models. So I'm actually just going to take his torso here. First off, I can't just take individual pieces, not quite that easy to do so. I'm going to instead make sure I've clicked him and hit Add Anvil. And you can see the number of models that we have is almost doubled because I've taken all Monas's models and attach them to my own. As you can see, it looks rather messy. I'm just going to start by removing some items. A good way to identify items, yes, here we go. So, Monas wears a helm of Niatsnot. I don't even know how you spell it. Night is not. There you go. Yes, that is recognized as an item in the game, or at least the item, the helm, has an associated model with it. That's not the case with things that are not items. In other words, a lot of NPC models. So I know I can safely delete this helm because I don't want it. And you can see it updates over here. I don't know what the rest of these are. Name is just a default. It means we don't know what's going on. So I'm just going to move all of these guys in the X direction by one tile. We can see now, okay, so that was a face there. This is a face, this is a face, so we don't need either of these. This is the torso. So I'm going to label this torso, and I'm going to remove my old torso. There we go. Next we have a cape. I'm going to get our own cape. Next we have arms, which are probably identical to our current arms. Yes, so I will get rid of that. Hands, we should already have hands on my default model. These legs, I'm going to remove. And what do we have? Ooh, these are some nice looking boots. We'll change that out. Okay, so essentially what we've done is we've taken Monas's torso there and made sure I labeled it correctly. What I will do eventually, and we'll get there, we'll start changing out some of the colors of that torso. But let's just leave it as is for now. Okay, next item. Going to refer to my written list here. We have, yes, okay. So there's going to be a couple really fun items we're going to put on our character here. We are going to consult Zara, Bosun Zara, because she has this really cool looking shield. Going to add to anvil. It's going to take all her models. I'm going to place them here. So based off memory, I know that this is the last one, and it's also unnamed. So again, same process as before. What do I need and what do I not need? I don't need her head, don't need her torso, don't need the legs, don't need the shoes, hands we don't need, and this is probably the shield. Beautiful. Yeah, okay. Really cool model that they added. That shield, we might need to translate it a little bit. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, next let's find... We do want something from Night is Not. Night is... Oh, it's an item. Night is... And we have to make sure we're getting the male worn item because I'm using a male character. I like the OR. He doesn't have a jaw. That shouldn't be a big deal. I can find a jaw. Okay, add that. There we go. We got the helm. And the helm already has a built-in face with it. That's most helmet models. So I can get rid of hair over here. I might have to fiddle with the skin tones. You'll have to remind me of that later. Okay, and the jaw... Can we get a beard? Beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, next. Let's find ourselves... some legs and some feet, which I have the character Andros over here for. What a cool looking model, you know? Good job, Mod John C. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be the helm. Don't need. This is going to be... That's the legs. So I'm going to call this legs, and we're going to get rid of our old legs. This is going to be... that's the plate body. That's probably the symbol on the plate body. That's the cape. This is hands, long sword, D-hide shield. These are probably the boots. Okay. Feet, and let's get rid of our old feet. I like to add something and then get rid of the old one. It just helps me keep track of things a little bit easier. Okay, so obviously a bit of a color mess, but that's fine. We're gonna be able to fix that later. Next, I want the Clue Hunter cloak because like it Zed fights with everything, but it is such a cool item, you know. Yeah. Okay. So part of it, the problem with this shield, is that it was made for a female model, whereas the male model, if there's a comparison, there's probably some NPC that's male that also has this shield. It will be positioned a little bit differently. It's not a big deal. We can, oh, so, right, translate by full tile, translate by subtile. So we want to be a little more gentle. So let's just get that to come off just a tiny bit, because there's more stuff that we're going to stuff in there. Okay, right, cool new item, swords and emblem. Yes, doesn't matter which we choose because we can, well, we're not going to see the colors anyway, are we? Okay, nice. Man, okay, great, and let's get ourselves Vesta's spear. Vesta's spear. All right. Now, one thing to note about this viewer here is that it is not a 100% accurate representation of what it will look like in game. The colors are going to be a little bit off, the lighting's going to be a bit off, there's going to be some weird rendering errors, it's not going to be able to show textures, and the reason that is because I'm not a very good developer. There you go. That's it. I'm not, you know, I have limits on how much 3D rendering I want to learn for this. Okay, so this is him. Oh, okay, the lighting is off here, so I'm just gonna change the lighting and we'll call him Viking Warrior. Forge and set that again. Okay. Beautiful. And I'll just name the object Viking Warrior as well as the model that we've set. And let's give him an animation of 809. Can I put him somewhere? Let's just entity hider again. All right. Yeah, that's really shaping up. Okay, so next thing, and no, we're just gonna do it this way. Okay, so I've got all the models that I want. I've forged to merge them all together into a model that I can see in game. Next, I want to start playing with this color scheme a little bit. And to do that, I wonder if the best way... No, we'll just give it a go. Okay, change to our color texture swapper. First off, let's just tune up the skin color here because I think we have two different skin colors going. We'll stick with the 4537. Where's the helm? 4537. This is essentially, it's just it's a number code for lack of a better word. Okay. As you can see, as I change, yeah. So the way that RuneScape models work is that you can swap colors. You can't completely change every single face, right? Every single poly. But you can take one color and change it all for another color. So just to give an example of that, let's go to the shield over here. You can see this very specific shade of brown. I can change that shade of brown to all green. And I'm gonna guess it's this one. Nope, wrong. Wrong. Correct. Okay. As you can see, that's the extent of RuneScape's recoloring system as is. I have not implemented anything more fancy than that. But we don't really need to play with the colors of the shield. Let's start with the helm. I want to make it just a little more grounded, a little more earthy. Helm. Okay. Let's try. Yeah, And we'll go a little bit lighter as we go up. So you can see the colors are changing as I'm changing this. Right, we probably want gray. That's probably more, that'll probably look better. Good. I'll just change this to 8250. There we go. Now, this black I want to be a little more earthy. Oh, yes. No, that I'll keep. Yeah, it's a bit of a finicky process, and it's something that you sort of have to get used to over time. There's not really any cleaner ways to do this, unfortunately. Yes, that's good there. That's fine there. And where is this? Oh. There we go. I think I like that. Good, and let's just see what it looks like once it's lit in the game. Oh, that looks really good. Yeah, that looks really natural. Next, I'm just gonna play with, of course, Monos is a king, but this is just a really cool Viking warrior. So I don't want his torso to be so so golden shiny. Let's just make it a little bit more metallic. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that's fine. And do I want to do something about these greaves here? I don't know. He's looking not so bad. Yeah, maybe we'll just make the greaves look a little bit dirtier. Let's go feet. I'm just gonna find what that is. Bring ourselves into a little bit more of a okay. That was the feet. Haven't really seen much of a difference there. Let's just exaggerate it just a tiny bit. There we go. Yeah, just like a little bit darker tone there. And I'm going to copy these swaps because these are probably some of the same colors. Yeah, there we go. Paste it there. And then this trim, we're just going to find that and replace it like so. Forge and set, and there we go. Oh. Yeah, that's not so bad. All right, well, that was all I was going to really do today. That was a lot short. It took a lot longer to find those models, I'll be honest. But yeah, that's the way it goes. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.